I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 208, South Park Chef's Love Shack. Released in 1999, this game was developed by Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaim. We played the original game just called South Park way back at Game 31, so it's been a while. The different South Park games have nothing in common with each other, but I decided to play them in release order for this challenge anyway. I'm gonna be real with y'all, some of you who have fond memories of this game are gonna be real upset with this video. Yeah, keep watching, I guess. But keep your expectations in reality. I never really watched South Park before. I know it's kinda changed in tone over the years, but from what I can tell about the original seasons, it was a lot of edgy humor for the sake of it, whereas it kind of evolved to satirize on current events happening in the world. I could be completely wrong though, I mean, I've never watched it. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there that I'm playing this game as someone with no attachment to South Park whatsoever. Let's get into it. The game opens with a cinematic of Chef dancing alongside those leg-kicking dancing girls. I think they're called Rockettes. Upon pressing start, it asks me how many players are playing. Well, I'm the only one here. You can't skip past this 10-second countdown. Then I had to choose who I'm playing as. The choices are Cartman, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny. Makes sense. I picked Cartman. Why not? You pick the number of rounds from 2 to 8. Not gonna lie, the name Foreplay for a 4-round game is clever. I picked Quickie to start so I could get a feel how the game goes. It then begins the intro. It says this is a game show where swimsuit models compete to win a date with Chef. However, there are none available, so today's show will feature children from South Park Elementary instead. Chef then slides in and complains about how this show never gets any actual lovely ladies. The mysterious host voice informs him, "Dude, we're in South Park. There are none here." I couldn't help but notice I was the only contestant sitting there. No one else. The way the game works is you pick from one of 3 trivia categories. These all seem quite different from each other. I gotta pick the 1991 Denver Broncos, cause that's way too specific. This question is like, what was the 1991 Denver Broncos win-loss record? How the heck am I supposed to know that? Is that a thing from the show? Like, does Chef like that team or something? At the time, I was using a controller with a broken D-pad, and it had finally given up. I had to swap to a different crappy one I had lying around because this game doesn't accept joystick input. Okay, the categories in question 3 are already starting to get a bit different. The pee in pool, why not? Ooh, I know this one. It's urethra. Wait, how do I select my answer? It's not letting me even with the new controller. Oh, I see. I have to buzz in, then select my answer. You know, I didn't realize I needed to do that, considering this game has no CPU opponents. Why am I the only one up here? I decided to reset since I was being dumb and didn't realize I had to buzz in. How many times does the average man fart? Dude, I don't know. I'm way above average on that one, so that's why I got it wrong. Salisbury steak? That's a weird category. Oh shoot, this is a double down. I can wager my points to double up. I currently have negative 500, but it's letting me bet up to 2,000 anyway. What dessert is served with the Swanson Salisbury steak TV dinner? Really? It's not a brownie? Dude, I don't even eat TV dinners. I haven't had one of those things since high school. I always ate Hungry Man. Now, you may be thinking, wait, it's just a trivia game? Oh no, every 3 questions you do a minigame challenge. It randomly selects from a group pool of 5. Parachute drop, eh? A to blow and left to... left? Okay. Here's the gameplay. Yeah. I don't know if it was a stylistic choice to try to match the show's look or they just didn't want to implement anything complex, but this is rough. It looks like a Flash game. Actually, scratch that. This doesn't even qualify as Flash. This would be a Shockwave player game. At the end, you land on the target. Normally, you'd be competing against 3 other people, but, well, they didn't implement CPU opponents, so it's just me, by myself. At least I can make up some of the pathetic trivia performance I was making with the minigames. Ooh, on the next question, I was awarded the chance to spin the Wheel of Fortuitousness. It said tap A to spin the wheel. I did, and it moved over literally 2 spots. That was the worst spin of all time? I did what it told me to. I picked the fireman category, and I guess this is related. Also, didn't we already have this question, but it was just worded differently? We're already getting repeats? Okay, another minigame. Alright, Stampede, let's do this. A to run, B to hurdle. Oh, well, That could have gone slightly better. And, well, that's the end of the match. Quickie is only 2 rounds. Apparently, I got first place with negative 1,500 points. I'm so skilled. And the game ends there. The credits roll after that. It looks like you literally can't lose in this game. Well, may as well play again to at least see more of the mini-games. I did the 8-round game, hot and heavy this time. This is off to a good start. I somehow know this one even though I've never seen the movie. Or is it a book? I don't know. I decided I'd try to finish with a positive score to win. As this is a South Park game, some of the questions are a bit risque. Is that the right word? I mean, this is essentially just asking what brand is this vacuum cleaner, but worded in a specific way. I will say some of these questions didn't age the best. Not talking about this one, but there are some on here that are using words you wouldn't really see today. It's just a product of the times, I guess. Well, time to eat a bunch of pies by myself. You mash A and B alternating as fast as possible. Then press both to shove the empty pie dish out of the way. Kenny's gonna get his hoodie filthy if he doesn't pull that thing down. I have no idea how I got this one right. I've never even seen a Godzilla film. Also, there's really one called Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster? That sounds so weird. Another minigame, Bad Kitty. Basically a very jank implementation of Donkey Kong. I'll randomly use this minigame in particular to talk about the graphics and audio. Look, this is one of the worst looking games I've seen on this console. Actually, it probably is the worst. This looks worse than so many games I played in my browser as a kid. Like, at least during the trivia portions, it does kind of look like the TV show. These minigames are just awful though. They were clearly trying to capitalize on the IP, but come on. The audio's okay for what it is. There's music that plays during questions. I have no idea if it's from the show, but it's kind of funk sounding. There's voices from all the characters, and I think they got the actual voice actors to do it. It's very compressed though.
Hi there, now we're gonna play a little memory game, okay? I want you to watch me spank this monkey's asses and memorize the order that I spanked them in, okay? Then I want you to repeat the sequence, okay? Ready? Now pay attention, okay?
Yeah. So here's Spank the Monkey. This monkey has 4 butts for some reason, and we have to watch Mr. Garrison slap them. Then repeat the order in which he did it. It goes on for 6 rounds or until you miss and adds more slaps each round. You know, I remember playing this one Flash game called Spank the Monkey, but it wasn't like this at all. You drug the mouse to move a glove into a monkey, and it showed the speed in which you did it. If you hit a certain threshold, it would play like 5 seconds of that Celebrate Good Times song. Anyone remember that game? Where does Cartman's grandma live? Dang, apparently the answer was Nebraska. Although she does die in a later season than when this game came out. Maybe they knew that would happen down the road? Alright, here's Chicken Lover. I don't know the context from the show, but we gotta find this guy who apparently loves chickens. It's like that shell game at the carnival where it spins and swaps all the positions. How does this one work in a multiplayer setting? Is it just the first to guess or what? Dude, really? Who knows the names of Styx albums? I definitely know that song, but not the album. Actually, I barely know album names for any bands. Only the ones I'm like super into, like System of a Down. I guess this is the Mr. Garrison category. Which group had the big hit Bop? Okay. Dude, I have no idea. I never heard of Hanson, so I chose that one. It pays to get lucky sometimes. This minigame is Roundup. You and 3 others battle to throw as many chicken eggs into your coop as possible. Except I'm by myself, so it's really just me moving up and down slightly over and over. The ones that don't get grabbed hatch and the baby chickens distract you, I imagine. I don't know though, they never touched me. Hey, this question's kind of related to South Park, right? Cartman is one of the answers. I couldn't pass up on that opportunity. Okay, the reason the wheel didn't make sense before is because the word tap is implying I have to button mash. I feel like that could have been phrased better. Here's Whack-A-Zombie, you know, press the D-pad in the direction of the zombified animals, except I didn't quite get the memo and was hitting the regular cute animals as well. Why are they buried here with the zombies anyway? I actually really enjoy trivia, just usually like science or math related stuff. I always suck at pop culture or else I'd crush people. If I'm like an 8 or a 9 in science knowledge, I'm like a 0 or a 1 on pop culture. Anyway, yeah, I got that one right. Oh no, Scuzzlebutt is in trouble. I've got to use this trampoline to bounce the water balloons toward him. I didn't realize at the time, but the blue ones are bowling balls. Why is Chef throwing those down anyway? What a scoundrel. See what I mean? Who the heck is Robert Smith? Were any of those bands real other than Depeche Mode anyway? Maybe that was the answer. I just want to point out the category name that brought this question up was Goldfish and Crackers. Also, I forgot to buzz in, oops. If I had some opponents, I probably would have been more alert for that kind of thing. This minigame is Soda Shake. Chef shakes a can of soda, then swaps it around a bunch. Isn't this the same as Chicken Lover? Or that bonus round in Root Beer Tapper? You have to find the one he shook up, then he blasts you in the face with it. But yeah, that's 8 rounds of play and Kenny won the game. At least I actually had a positive score this time. Kenny doesn't even die at the end. That was a classic South Park gag, right? I tried to find a cheat code to play all the minigames to show them off, but the one I found online apparently only works for the PS1 version. They didn't add the cheat for the N64 for some reason. Well, I got about 42 minutes of play out of this game. That's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating South Park Chef's Love Shack. Look, there are 2 things with this game. If you were playing in multiplayer, you'd have a completely different experience in both the minigames and the trivia. This series is just about the single player aspects of these games though. The second thing is, if you watch South Park, you'd probably be more inclined to like this game. Like, El Camino wasn't a great movie, but I convinced myself I loved it because how much I enjoy Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So keep that in mind here. I think this game is just plain awful. How are you going to boot up the game by yourself and they didn't put any kind of CPU opponent in? Even for the minigames. It was mind-blowing to me. I also think the trivia should have been about the show rather than just random generic trivia stuff. There was that one question about Cartman's grandma, I guess. And then the minigames. Oh man, they are rough. They don't control well, and it's just sad looking. I don't know, man. It's not for me. Maybe if you and some friends remember this game and want to go on a nostalgia trip, then go for it. If you're by yourself though, no chance I recommend this. Reminder, this score is my personal rating and not a general rating I think the game should be for every player. If you're curious about that kind of thing, IGN gave this game a 2.1 out of 10 back when it came out. I gave South Park Chef's Love Shack a 0 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 0 out of 10 for difficulty. I mean, you literally can't lose. That's the only way to get a 0. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. Do a random track, the Raging Pin. Got 183 games on the list. Tons of games left still, chat, including Jet Force Gemini, or perhaps Space Invaders, or maybe Pilot Wings 64. But only one can win. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, they are off, folks. Super Smash Bros. Off to an early lead. We'll see if that plays out to be anything. It looks like possibly win back Covert Operations in the lead. The next WCW game I see as well. And Winback is the first one into this tunnel now. Winback coming through, getting bounced around quite a bit. This looks like a rough tunnel to escape. And Winback is gone. And we could get Jeopardy. That would be funny. Wiley Country Club, True Golf Classics, Biofreaks, NASCAR 2000, Gex as well. So many games falling off the cliff. NASCAR 2000 coming down, Gex, Wiley Country Club, True Golf Classics coming through. NASCAR 2000 coming down. Nagano Winter Olympics surging forward. And Nagano Winter Olympics at a big advantage right now. We got Wheel of Fortune as well. NASCAR 2000. Actually the first one past these pins here. And will anybody make the jump to the next area? Potentially. And it's the next Turok game in the lead. Out of nowhere, Turok is in the lead. What will this be? We got the pin here, as in the Raging Pin. And it's hard to tell. We got Turok, Wheel of Fortune, Gex. Turok and Gex both launched out. Gex goes off the cliff, and Turok uncontested toward the goal. Will we be playing Turok again? No! Turok misses the goal out of nowhere. And it's Ogre Battle 64. Oh my god. Turok missed the goal. Ogre Battle 64. No way. I can't believe Turok didn't make that. I thought it had it for sure. If you were hoping for Star Fox, I got bad news. I don't know how Turok fell off. It looks like it's so hard to fall at the end, but it found a way. Ogre Battle 64, person of lordly caliber. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.